Hey girlies, just a quick reminder before we dive into today's episode. The information shared on this podcast is intended to be general sports nutrition advice and education related to period recovery for female athletes. This is not specific to any one individual, and it may or may not apply to your situation. If you are looking for personalized guidance, be sure to apply to our RBSN Period Recovery Nutrition Coaching Program. Our 4-month period recovery program is designed to help you sustainably get your period back and keep it. You can apply now to get started in our program, and we'll leave the link for the program below. This is the Eat More Carbs Podcast. Hello and welcome back. This is the Eat More Carbs Podcast. We're Reilly Beatty Sports Nutrition, and we're a team of dietitians, and we talk every Thursday about sports nutrition for the girlies. I'm Jenna, and I'm the host of this podcast.
And I'm Reilly. I'm the founder of Reilly Beatty Sports Nutrition. We like to call it around here RBSN.
We're super excited to talk with y'all today. Before we get into today's episode, we are going to do our high and low, so sharing just a little bit about our week, the good, and the parts we wish had gone a little bit differently. Reilly, as always, can you kick us off?
I've been so excited to share this story with you. I don't know if it's a high or a low, so you're going to have to help me out. Just to give some background, what have we been talking about recently that we are both not into at all? What is a fall thing that you and I are just not into at all?
Pumpkin spice, yeah.
Yes, pumpkin spice, right? And you and I have been very outwardly kind of spoken about that we just don't love pumpkin spice. And I want to show you what one of my athletes sent me.
Okay. Is that a pumpkin spice goo?
Huh?
I know who this is from.
I have been waiting to share this with you because this is so funny to me. Somebody sent me a gift for my birthday, and in there she sent me a pumpkin spice gel because a little background is I'm not a gel person, especially goo. And one of my clients thought she was going to troll me, and she sent me a pumpkin spice gel, and I have been dying to share this with you, Jenna.
Hats off to her. This is one of the best gag gifts I've ever thought of. That is such a thoughtful, funny gift.
Yep. And she listens to the Eat More Carbs podcast a lot, so she knows that we don't love a pumpkin spice, but I've just been dying because I've been waiting for your reaction. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can.
I was going to ask, are you going to try it?
No, I don't know. I just feel I just don't know. I don't know if I can do it.
That's fair. I don't know if I could do that. That's oof.
I know, but I'm going to need ideas from you all because I have to get her back.
Mm-hmm.
I have to gift her back. So I need ideas from everybody else. But I just thought this was so funny. I also think that you all out there who are my athletes, you all are getting too bold. You're getting too bold because you keep trying to rile me up. The amount of people who are trolling me now on my Monday and Wednesday stories is not okay. They keep being oh, she's spicy. Let's try to get her spicier. They are coming for me in my stories right now because they're just trying to make me mad. They're trolling me.
I love that.
They're what do you think about the fruit diet? I'm okay, guys. They're what do you think about keto? I'm you know what I think about keto. We talk about this all the time. They're just trying to rile me up. So I'm coming for all of y'all.
Too funny. So is that your high or your low? Because it could be both.
I don't know. I think it might be both. I just feel it's such a funny and thoughtful thing. And also it's a thoughtful gag gift, right?
Yes.
She was how can I rile Reilly up as much as possible? And then she did it.
I can just imagine her seeing that and being this is so perfect. But I think that is the high because that is such a thoughtful thing. You know what I mean? Even though it's not something that you it's the exact opposite, but it's still super thoughtful. So
I know. I told her I'm going to keep it on my desk as a reminder to never work with people from her area again, just as a joke. But I was no. There's a little also backstory too, because intrafueling for her was something that was really really scary. And so we have been kind of sending videos back and forth the last couple of months of us fueling during our our runs or our workouts. And so she's been doing gel reviews and stuff like that. So she was it's your turn to do a gel review, and I was I hate you.
I'm curious about how it tastes.
Jenna, what if this is actually the gel for me?
That would be so funny.
I mean, I really have been enjoying Morton. I'm not going to eat Morton on a regular basis. I'm so excited to run for a couple of months without eating anything during a run. And I know that's weird for me saying that, but I was just eating so much during my runs, and I did so many Morton gels on long runs and stuff. But I'm wondering because these are two things that I dislike so much, do they counteract?
Well, that's a good question. It's two things that you don't like. So does it, elementary school math? Do these
two
cancel
negatives
out?
equal a positive?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I have to try it. Maybe we cracked the code here.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. All right, if you do, you have to share with all of us. Please put that on social media because I want to know.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it right now because I'm sick and I don't have any flavors. flavor. Like I can't taste anything. So
no, that's getting out of it. You can't add a variable.
Okay, fine. I should have just not told anybody and then be like, oh, I did it.
No, because we're all going to ask for the full review.
Maybe I'll do it for science, but we'll see.
In the name of science, I think that's a good one.
Yes. Okay, so that's my high and my low. I did have backups ready to go, but I think that's a high and a low.
I like it.
For me this week. How about you?
Okay, before I share my high, I just want to say, like, I work with the best people. I love the people that I get to work with. Like, we work with the best people at our BSN. Like, we're so fortunate and I am so thankful. Like we've talked about before, one of the hardest things is like when somebody gets their period back, they reach their goals, they leave the program, like we don't talk to them anymore. And we've developed relationships over, several months. That makes it hard. But I do have people that will like continually update me on things that happen in their life, which I absolutely love because I love to celebrate like the wins outside of period recovery. Like life wins are really fun too. And I had somebody that emailed me to let me know that she got into her Master's of Dietetic program for after she graduates, which was like a big goal of hers after she left period recovery, after she got her period back, was to focus on that academic goal. And I was just so excited for her. Like she sent me the screenshot of the email of her acceptance and I was like, oh my gosh. So that was just such a fun thing to get to celebrate with her. And obviously like we love dietitians. We love more people entering the field and I'm super, super excited for her.
So great, like for multiple reasons. Do you remember how excited we were when we got into our program? Like that's how she's feeling right now. And it's so cool that she shared it with you.
Yes, absolutely. It's also cool because I think about like how that put me on the path to where I am right now because we met during our dietetic internship, like had no idea who you were, but I knew that we were matched together at the same hospital and look where we are now. So just the like idea of what she's about to start and like what that means for her is just really exciting.
And for us, that was like almost 8 years ago, or maybe it was 8 years ago.
Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about my age.
Okay, I'm older than you, so
yeah, barely.
I'm officially in the next Boston bracket, so I am old.
Not allowed to say that. My low, I shared on the podcast like probably well over a year plus ago about how I purchased this perfume off of like a recommendation from an influencer, which is very bold because you can't smell perfume, and it worked out in my favor. So I've tried that again, and I always buy like the travel size of perfume because like in the event that it doesn't smell great, I don't have a giant bottle of it. I also purchased the travel size so that way I can travel with it because like I don't want that big bottle of something that I can't haul with me because of course I'm not checking a bag because that takes way too long. Heck no, I'm going to fit it all in my carry-on. That's the kind of person I am. Do not find me at baggage claim. I will not be waiting that long. Anyway, I have 2 bottles of what I would consider like not the least expensive perfumes on the market. I love them both. They're both my travel size. They're both glass containers. I picked one up the other day to use it and I don't know what happened in my brain, but I just dropped it and it shattered and it went everywhere, which meant that like the room smelled nice, but then I had to like get all the glass picked up and I lost all of it. Like it all went everywhere. And then I was like, well, that's a huge bummer. So I was like, of course I still want to smell good. So I pick up my other one, my other expensive one.
I just thought you were going to say you were on the ground.
And like trying to put it on. Like sweeping it back in.
I was like, I know that she's resourceful over there, but she was not on the ground.
No. Can you imagine? No, there was way too much broken glass. That was so dangerous.
Nolan like walks in with George.
I was on the ground. He's like rolling around. He's like, what are you doing?
Okay. Like no one else is going to find that as funny as I do, but like, I'm sorry. That was just, that's where I thought you were going and I couldn't get out of there. I'm so sorry. I interrupted you. Okay.
No, that's fine. I still wanted to smell good. I did not roll around in the broken bottle of perfume. So I pull out my other travel size one of like my favorite expensive perfume and it's empty. This particular perfume, they're smart. Instead of giving me just a glass bottle, because I guess I'm clumsy and I break things sometimes, it comes in like a little leather pouch to keep the glass from breaking. But because of that, I didn't know that the bottle was open and leaking. It leaked into like the inside of the little case. And so both of my perfumes are gone. Just completely ran through in a single day.
That's also a very fancy one if it has a container for the container.
I know. It's nice. But again, that's why I buy the travel one because girl math, I'm like, oh, if I only buy the travel one, it's X amount of dollars instead of like double X amount of dollars for the big container, even though it would probably last double the amount of time.
I like a travel container perfume too, though. So I think like I like to get maybe like multiple different ones and then you can do that.
Exactly. See? It all makes sense, but it doesn't when you break the bottles and they accidentally leak everywhere. And it probably happened like the last time that I traveled with it. I guess I just stink now.
You and your natural deodorant and now you don't have any perfume.
No perfume. Yeah, which I did actually have people message me about like what deodorants they use. And like shout out to all of you who gave me input on that. So thank you.
I was actually thinking about you because I bought new deodorant the other day and I was like,
Did you accidentally buy a
test? I told you, after pregnancy, I can't even look at them. And I know it's not good for me and people can come for me, but it's my vice. You know what? Good smelling deodorant is my vice. I don't really drink. I don't do a lot of other things. So you know what? You got to pick your battles.
Everything in moderation, right?
Yep.
Okay. On today's episode, we're actually talking about the things that drive us bananas. Outside of accidentally dropping our expensive perfume bottles and pumpkin spice goo, we are talking about nutrition related things that we saw this week or online that absolutely drove us bananas.
I'm so excited to share mine. I have some from clients this week and I'm pumped.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. I'm excited.
They're trolling me, but then they're also bringing me what drives me bananas. So thank you everybody for just continuing to bring me content so we can talk about it on the podcast.
You guys, I want to petition to change the name of this podcast, or not this podcast, but like this type of episode, from what drives us bananas to like what's not driving me bananas, because the list of things driving me bananas is increasing.
We only have things that drive us bananas apparently now. Nothing's good anymore.
Right? Am I like just being negative Nancy, or like is there a lot out there?
I don't know. We always talk about this, but it's so easy to keep like such a positive mindset with like fueling and nutrition on our side of the internet because we talk about it in such a positive light. But then I think sometimes when I just like go out there and I just am so shocked by what other people are seeing, like I feel like I'm just so shocked by what everybody's saying out there. Maybe I agree with you. Maybe we need to change this to what's not driving us bananas.
Right? And share something positive, but it would be like, this post from RBSN does not drive me bananas. If we're thinking about what's online. What drove me bananas actually is something that I saw in person. It's December. I love Christmas time. Like, give me all the holiday things, set up the Christmas tree as early as possible. But I feel like every year things keep being like moved earlier and earlier. Like we started Black Friday shopping in September and Christmas decorations were out in October. All of that sort of stuff of just like rushing us through to the next chapter of life. And I was at the gym the other day. This is early December and it was like, start your 2026 shred early. I have a lot of thoughts, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about that.
We're speechless over here.
I feel like every year I have hope that it's going to be better. And every year it's not. It's worse.
It is. It's fine to have goals around body comp changes. Just want to put that out there. But the shaming around it or trying to convince you that you should not enjoy your holiday or that you need to start something immediately. But I just was like kind of upset because I was like, why are we pushing that? Like what? I get it. It's a gym and they want people to sign up for their programs and whatnot, but it's going to rub me the wrong way.
I think what I don't like about it is like you're already telling people that they're going to fail, right? Like you're like, oh, you are going to be bad in air quotes this holiday season. So like you should just prepare for it. And it's like, okay, food isn't good or bad. The holidays aren't good or bad. Like why are we guilt tripping people here?
And even if you are working towards some type of body comp goal, enjoying some of the holiday foods probably isn't going to make that big of an impact on your goal.
100%.
Like we have to make small sustainable changes to get you where you want to be for your goal. So trying to be like, be drastic in the month of December.
It's only going to get worse though, because I keep thinking, I'm like, it's 2025. Like, why are we still having this conversation? But I do think it's going to get worse, especially with people abusing, I would say, a lot of the weight loss medications. And just there's such a standardization or maybe normalization of fast and large weight loss. And that's what I just feel like we're going to see a lot of that going into the new year.
It's just so much hyper fixation on someone's body. And I think that's what bothers me.
Yes, especially because the majority of the GLP-1 users are women.
Right. Yeah.
And you just cannot win.
Nope. You can't. There's always going to be someone that's upset about how you did something, the way that you look, the way that you dress, or all of those things. Like you just can't win. And what if, hear me out, we were more concerned about our character than we were about our appearance?
You can't sell character. That's why.
I know, but isn't that crazy?
I know. It's honestly so sad.
Anyway, I hope everybody just has a wonderful December and doesn't feel any of the pressure from like gyms or marketing campaigns or influencers or anything like that to do anything other than enjoy your holiday season the way that you want to.
Just wait until you hear what drives us bananas, because I swear, y'all, we do not talk about these before we record. Just wait until you see what mine is.
Okay, what is it?
Okay. It is an Instagram post that a client client sent me. So I've said this before, but we love our clients so much. And a lot of them listen to the podcast. And so a lot of them have been sending me what drives them bananas. And they're like, can you do it on the podcast? And I'm like, okay, so this is a client. I guess so what drives us bananas, like proxy from a client. I'm going to set the scene here. A Instagram reel by a gentleman who is weightlifting at the gym, no shirt. And it says 10 weird signs your body is actually shredding fat. This post has 74,000 likes, almost 2,000 comments. We're going to go through the 10 ways that you know your body is shedding fat. Are you ready for this?
Can't wait.
No, but let's hear them.
Okay. Number 1, you start peeing more than usual, like your body's literally flushing out the old version of you. Do we think this is a sign that you're shedding fat?
Jenna. Raising my hand. Have you ever been in a situation in which you're very thirsty and you drink all of your water at once instead of sipping on it throughout the day? What then happens?
I also want to set the scene that there's almost 2,000 comments on this post, and most people are saying, I have these symptoms. It's happening to me. I want to set the scene also on that piece, right? Oh, wait, it gets better.
I can't believe that was the first one.
That's the first one. Number 2, you feel colder, especially in your hands and feet, not because something is wrong, but because your insulation's finally leaving.
Maybe we have insulation for a reason.
Also, what is one of the number 1 symptoms that our athletes have in low energy availability?
Being cold all the time, and especially in places when you shouldn't be. I'm calling someone out specifically. She knows who she is. But if you are wearing a jacket to walk to class and you live in Texas,
it's not Lilly.
It's not Lilly. It's not me. Not Lilly, who does happen to live in Texas, but
it's not her. And the sad thing is, again, there are people who are in the comments saying, like, that's why I've started feeling colder lately, because it's working. Number 3, your sweat smells different. Not bad, just different, because that's your body actually burning fat for fuel.
Interesting.
I think what he's trying to say here is that you're starting to burn ketones, right?
Yeah.
So you have a distinct smell. But if you're burning ketones because you're in that much of a deficit,
we got a problem.
Smelling like nail polish remover is not normal.
You heard it here first, folks. That is not normal. Number 4, you get random energy burst 1 minute, you're chill the next, then you have enough energy so you feel like you're cleaning your whole apartment. This means that your metabolism is waking up.
My eye is twitching.
We got 6 more to go, people.
I don't know if I can do this, but if you're experiencing extreme lags of like prolonged fatigue, like that's a sign of underfueling. That's not a good thing. That's not something we should be excited about.
Well, that's my whole thing, is like somebody who is underfueling is seeing this post and now is being validated because they think what they're doing is right, because someone said what they're doing is right. And then again, we have 2,000 comments on this of people saying this is happening to me.
And I just want to put this out there for a zoom out look at this, is like when you are underfueling, that doesn't mean that like you are exclusively losing fat. That doesn't just exclusively happen when you're underfueling. Like there are other things that are happening too. Like we can lose muscle mass, we can lose performance, we can shut down non-essential functions like reproduction. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to underfuel. These signs mean that I'm just losing fat.
Number 5, your face leans out first. Your jawline starts showing your cheekbones pop, and you're like, when did that happen?
It's also where we feel for malnutrition, but that's okay.
Number 6, I messed up on my screenshot, but it's something about your clothes start fitting tighter in some areas and looser in some other areas.
That one's weird.
I don't know. That's number 6. Number 7, you start sleeping like a baby, your hormones finally chill out, and your body's repairing itself for real.
Okay, I have a bone to pick with anybody who says you slept like a baby, because babies don't sleep good.
Take it from someone who has a 2-year-old.
Right? I was like, I don't have a child, but sometimes I get on morning calls with Reilly and she's like, oh, Charlie didn't sleep at all last night. So like, is he saying that you're waking up all through the night? Because another sign of underfueling.
I don't believe, like, sometimes I'm like trying to understand, like, I'm like, okay, where is this man coming from? I don't get this one at all. Like, there's no way that you can start sleeping better if you're underfueled. Like, I don't get that one at all.
Maybe you're sleeping longer because you physically can't get out of bed because you have no energy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There we go,
Good
Lily.
call
There
out,
we
Lily.
go. There we go. Number 8, you catch mood swings earlier on, then suddenly you just feel better. Fat loss balances way more than your weight. I also don't know what he's trying to say here, but
Yeah.
I'm a little confused on that one. I mean, everybody sure gets a little bit hangry from time to time, but like, what's he saying?
I think he's trying to say that you don't have as many hormonal mood swings, which you're not going to have hormonal mood swings if you don't have hormones because you're under fueling. I mean, that's something that we talk about like every single day. I feel like with the period recovery program, when people are having bad body image, we're like, your period's coming in 2 days. And it usually does.
That's so true. That is such a big sign is when they're like, I'm moody, I'm not feeling good. And then it's like a couple days later, they're like, oh, that's why.
Number 9 is you notice new veins or shape in the mirror, which I think that if you're losing fat, you're probably going to have more definition, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. And number 10, my favorite, your appetite gets weird some days. You're starving other days. Food doesn't even cross your mind. That's your hunger hormones resetting.
Okay, no, your hunger hormones are not resetting. That's not how that works.
You're suppressing, but not resetting.
They're suppressing because you're not listening to them.
Your body is adapting to the fact that you aren't fueling or attempting
It's down regulating itself. It's going into starvation mode.
Correct. Oh, what a bummer.
I know. Absolutely drove me bananas. Again, 74,000 people, and he is selling his shredding fat guide or something like that.
We hate to see it at RBSN.
I do want to say something there, though. All of his things were like related to aesthetics. There was nothing in that list of like your performance is getting better and you're getting healthier as a person. It was all you're shedding fat so you can look a certain way.
Right. There was nothing about you're getting stronger, you're getting faster.
This is a bummer of an episode, guys. We're like all down in the dumps because there's just so much shenanigans out there. All right, Lily, cheer us up.
Okay, so my what drives me bananas kind of goes off of Jenna's with the New Year thing, but I also just think it's a year-round thing where it feels like on social media, perfectionism is the only answer. And especially around the New Year's, like the reason that so many New Year's resolutions fail is because 1, they were unsustainable to begin with, and 2, if people don't do every single thing that they said they're going to do, they automatically give up because they don't feel like they're doing it right.
Ooh, the all or nothing mindset.
100%. And I think that there has to be some grace given to people because you aren't going to be perfect, or you need to make a goal that you can be perfect at, which isn't 100% of the time.
Smart and sustainable goals that include room for life and being human.
Yes. And even when it's something that you think you can do every day, you probably won't do it every single day.
That's such an unrealistic expectation to set for doing something like, perfectly. Like if you did 6 out of 7 for drinking more water, that is still amazing. Still good.
Why do you think it is that we like glamorize these goals? Because I just think about like myself, right? Like every single year I'm like, I'm going to do more yoga, and I never do more yoga, but I don't ever want to set, I never like think about like, I want to do yoga once a week. I'm like, that's not good enough. But like, I'm like, okay, I need to do yoga 3 times a week. And it's like, Reilly, you haven't done yoga 3 times in 2025. Like, why are you doing it 3 times a week? But like, why do we feel like you can't set a realistic goal?
I think that happens for a lot of people because they feel like if they set smaller goals that are more sustainable, that they've failed because it doesn't feel like they've reached the end goal. Like if you're picturing or your idea of more yoga in 2026 is 3 times a week, and you set the goal of I'm going to do yoga once a month, which is still an increase from what it was, it still feels like a failure because you're like, well, I'm only doing it once a month, and like what I would like to be doing is 3 times a week. And in reality, what we should be doing is like, okay, I'm going to make this change. I'm going to make this increase of doing yoga 1 time per month. And then maybe next year you're like 2 times a month. And then the next year you're like 3 times a month, because that's hard to work into your schedule as a working mom. You run a business, and we can't be happy with the in-between of reaching a goal in a slower amount of time.
100%. And I also think that we have people online like influencers where their job is to work out 7 days a week and promote that and tell you you're lazy if you don't.
Which is interesting because what their job truly is to keep you on the app for as long as possible.
They like sell their fat burning guide.
Or their special supplement.
Crazy world.
I also think too that like we've been talking a lot about the new year, but like we are not against like New Year's resolutions or New Year's goals. I think we're just against, having things that are not realistic and not sustainable. And that's obviously something that we talk about all the time in the period recovery program is like we're trying to set like realistic and sustainable goals and like I joke about the yoga thing, but like that's not really a sustainable goal. And I think sometimes like the sustainable goals and like the sustainable and realistic work like isn't glamorous, right? Like it's so much easier for me to like pop on social and be like, I do yoga every single day. Just kind of like what Lilly was mentioning. But it's like not as glamorous to be like, I do yoga once a month. Like that's, people are like, okay, great, good job. But like you mentioned, Jenna, right? Like setting a goal for once a month. I'm going to do yoga 12 times if I hit that goal in 2026 versus the 2 times I did it in 2025. That's not as glamorous. And like a lot of the stuff that we're talking about oftentimes with period recovery and just with proper sports nutrition is not glamorous.
It's like almost the brag of like getting something perfect, I feel like. I also feel like this is a good thing to talk about from like the period recovery standpoint, because the period recovery process shouldn't be that we make like these huge drastic changes of stopping exercise, completely increasing total intake and doing that for 2 months and then seeing a period and then immediately starting up with previous habits again. Like we should make small sustainable changes like the ones that Reilly mentioned for like, oh, we're doing this at one point in our day. We're increasing this at this meal. We're adding a snack here. We're making sure we're fueling at this point in time on Thursdays. Like things like that we build on, so that way we learn sustainable habits versus doing something that's like jumping in and not realizing that like none of that is sustainable.
I think kind of going back to like Lily's point about like the glamorization of things, or things aren't glamorous because things aren't like catchy or selly or like impressive. And I feel like a lot of the time, like especially on social, like we're hearing about the outliers. We're hearing about the person that ran a marathon for the first time, just speaking about like the running community, and they qualified for Boston, or they ran a 3-hour marathon and they had never run a marathon before. And like that's an outlier. Like most people who run a marathon, like especially their first one, like aren't going to be close to those numbers, and unless they've had previous running experience or things like that. And a lot of the time we're constantly comparing ourselves to like other people's highlight reels or like the stories that go viral, when like those again are very small outliers in the space.
Yeah, it's the 1% of the 1% of what we're seeing on social media. It's not an accurate representation of like everyone around you. It's just like the highlight reel that did go super viral, and there's a reason why it went super viral. I just need to stay off of social media, I guess.
Oh, me too.
There's so many negatives, but there are a lot of benefits of it too. And I think that's where like the struggle is it's like too much of anything is a bad thing. And then also I think you just again have to go back to like understanding that it's somebody's highlight reel, or then also filtering the information that you're seeing on your page.
So maybe this is a good reminder that everyone should do a quick social media cleanup. And we talk a lot about doing this like every so often, but like turning off even like the suggested posts. You can snooze those for 30 days, which does mean that you have to go in and continuously do that. Unfollowing accounts that don't provide value or encouragement to your life, and maybe following a few more that do. And if you have a goal that's specific around like mindset, following people who work on mindset related goals versus someone who's continuously showing off like their abs at the beginning of What I Eat in a Day videos.
Oh, What I Eat in a Day videos.
To be continued.
Yeah, whole nother topic.
Do you guys have anything that you want to share for the beginning of December for maybe like encouragement?
You're never going to keep your period by turning your life upside down.
That's Lily's hashtag. That's her tagline.
Yep. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode about what drives us bananas. In the comments, let us know what you've seen this week that drove you bananas, because we want to know. We are going to do our training update. Reilly and I are both in our running era, so we're sharing the training that we're doing currently for upcoming races and upcoming events. Reilly, what is training like for you this week?
This week, I am kind of just like moving out of my recovery block. I have a 5K that I'm doing this weekend. I'm excited about. Just like a little local kind of race. I think I've shared this before, but I'm really just practicing on like racing right now and just trying to get my mileage up. Something that I really struggled with when I was training for the marathon was how many days I was running. I can only really run like 4 days a week. Once I went up to 5, I started to get some like little pains and things like that. And so I'm really trying to work on like increasing my days of running right now. So that's what I'm doing right now in preparation for some like spring races and stuff, but then just doing some local stuff too. It's pretty boring of me right now, but like we talk about this all the time with like fueling, like the boring stuff works. So that's what I'm doing right now.
I love it. There's nothing wrong with the boring stuff.
And it's nice to just like run again, because like when you're training for something, or I was like training for the marathon, like everything had like a training purpose where it was like, okay, this is an easy run, this is a workout, this is a long run, and now I'm just like running.
Yeah, just for enjoyment.
Yes. Karis told me it was frolicking, and I really resonate with that. So that's what I'm doing. Catch me frolicking on the Greenway. That's me.
So it's been the best part about like coming back to running after the marathon.
Nothing. I don't know. I think it's just like a different type of running, kind of like what I just shared, where like I'm really trying to like not look at my watch. So I think that's what I've done. I've done some runs with like Char and stuff, like when I've pushed her, and I don't wear my watch for those. So kind of just like really getting back to like, again, like running for fun and not putting as much pressure on it. I think especially when we're training for something, you just get so caught up in like numbers. I think something that I was so worried about for New York, because I had been training for it for so long, it was such a big race, was getting hurt. And I was so worried about like not being able to get to the start line of New York. And then now I feel like I have a little bit more freedom. Not like I'm going like crazy and want to get hurt or doing anything like that, but I feel like I can run now and be a little bit more like, it's like a little bit more freeing, right? Like, because when I was training, if I felt a pain, I'd be like, is my load too high? Is my pace too fast? Is like this going on? And then now I can just kind of like run, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you. I think that's great.
What about you? It's like really good running weather right now in Arizona.
Yes, it is the like season that running outside is my preference and enjoying being outside. I think, gosh, the grass is always greener on the other side. Like when I lived in Cleveland, I was like, the winters are so long and horrible. And then now that I live here, I'm like, gosh, I miss the season. So like, you know, things like that. So I'm just like enjoying this and being thankful for the opportunity to run outside. I have not signed up for the local half yet, but I probably will. I don't know why I'm like kind of hesitant to do that. I think it's probably my hamstring in the back of my mind, and I don't want to put like too much pressure on my body. I will say that like a couple of weeks ago, I actually had the first like running workout I've had in a while that like I felt good, and I like finally reached some paces that I was like, oh, okay, like it doesn't mean that I'm going to be, you know, running zone 2 for the rest of my life. Like I can still like have days where I feel good and can push pace. I just think I just have to take advantage of those and be smart about them and make sure that I'm not like overdoing it, and really listen to like, if the day after I run, like my hamstring feels spicy, like I take another recovery day. And I think having that like flexibility with knowing that like if I take another day off or I have another recovery day during the week, like that doesn't destroy my training, my progress, or anything like that. Like, is it exactly what I wanted to do? No. Is it what my body needed? Yes. And that's okay.
Isn't it so crazy that like it's so easy to like not listen to our body, because like our body's telling us like, hey, we need a recovery day, and you're like, hey body, you're like lying to me. Like I don't need another recovery day. Like I can push through, when like in actuality your body's trying to tell you something,
right? Like there's a pain there for a reason, and I shouldn't be like, okay, well I'll just cross train then, like no problem, I'll just do something else instead. Like no, like that is feedback from our body telling us don't do something today. And I think that's been working really well. And like, yeah, it is a little frustrating, but I'd much rather do this in a smart way than like re-injure myself to the point where I need to like completely stop running again.
Oh, I'm so happy. I know that it's not 110%, but I am so happy that your hamstring is feeling better.
Me too. If you do have questions for Reilly and I about what drives us bananas, period recovery, nutrition, fueling, or just our running journey, please reach out to us. You can find us online. You can find Reilly at easy.sports.nutrition, and you can find me at jenna.fisher.nutrition. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Eat More Carbs podcast. Please make sure you rate, subscribe, and review. And as always, remember to eat more carbs